rAVe Radio. With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hey everyone, this is Gary K. Welcome to a new pre-InfoComm edition of my Rants and Raves videocast. This time I'm joined with Sean Matthews, who's the president and CEO and founder of Visix. Sean, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, Gary. Thanks for having me on.
Well, first off, I'm glad to see you. I'm more excited to see you next week in person. We've known each other for almost 30 years. I knew your father. I knew, a lot of people that your father was one of the pioneers of the industry, truly. And it was a big loss a few years ago when he left us, but he left an incredible legacy in you with Visix and what you've done with digital signage. And you've focused really heavily on helping the AV community get into digital signage. You'll be in booth, the North Hall in booth 1344, right near Samsung. So I know that, there's been, first off, I want to commend you for the plethora of new product and improvements that you made over the pandemic. But before we talk about that, what about the ePaper stuff, man? That stuff is hot.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually one of the most popular things right now with people starting to talk about coming back to buildings, and they're looking at this hybrid work environment, hot desking, hoteling, all the buzzwords that they're using. And the electronic paper sign, the new one, which is a 12.5-inch sign, it replaces an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and It integrates with all of the major event management systems. So it's a very popular item right now.
Yeah, and that's going to be in your booth. I mean, you've always had a great lineup of ePaper products, as well as traditional room sign management products. But I don't know how many updates. You must have done 20 software updates to your product over the last couple of years. I get press releases at least once a month, and they're always significant updates. I was wondering, do people pay for that? Is that like a licensing thing? Or is that something that you do? How's that work?
Yeah, so we have several different, purchasing structures or purchasing options. We have a lot of people that buy into the subscription, whether it's a on-premise subscription or a hosted subscription, either one. The shift, as you can imagine, to something other than a perpetual license has, happened almost overnight. In our space. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we have more than 20 public releases over the course of the pandemic. So it's been almost 3 years since we've been at InfoComm, and we're looking at close to 30 public releases in that period. A lot of really cool ones to the Signage Suite platform. We have the Pick and Fill template designer, which is now in the browser, in addition to the Windows app. The major improvement for us is we went to a simple consumer-centric licensing model. So it's very similar to what you might have, with a home television type device. Some HTML5 viewer plugins for, various endpoints. We actually now have user language support for French, Spanish, and German, a new 2.0 cloud architecture, a lot of data integrations, UI improvements. We even picked up another VPAT for reinforcing our commitment to accessibility for those that are, need that sort of visual accessibility. So yeah, we made a ton of progress during the pandemic.
Yeah, and the last piece that I noticed as well is the movement towards the cloud. I mean, everyone's been talking about cloud this, cloud that, but obviously your infrastructure, was important enough to basically make a massive change in the way that you manage that.
Yeah, we were a little bit behind schedule in terms of getting to a multi-tenant cloud type model. And our architecture was based on some smaller, hosting services that were available in the market. But we were starting to get pressure from multinational companies who were really looking for a much more stable, much more secure and scalable, hosted environment. So the major shift from 2019 into 2022, in 2019, less than 20% of our clients chose cloud. Last year, nearly 80% chose the cloud.
Wow.
So, we looked at a couple of different major providers. We chose Azure for its platform integration, scalability. It's what our clients were looking for. The load balancing architecture for international clients, the multi-layered security, that's what people were looking for. So we chose that Azure model. And now, we're running up to 100 tenants on a single server with Microsoft, which is pretty impressive for us because it reduces the overall cost of managing and delivering that service, which we can ultimately pass that cost on to our clients as well.
And it also makes sure that you can manage a system from anywhere and any device too. All right, so you'll be in booth, North Hall in booth 1344. I look forward to seeing you just because of our personal friendship, but I know the industry, as I said, you're one of the only digital signage companies that has focused exclusively in the ProAV market. I commend you for that. And for that reason, I think people should go by and see you. So I look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, I can't wait to be there and look forward to seeing you as well.
Yeah, and of course, Visix.com, Visix.com. Thanks for joining me. See all of our InfoComm coverage at ravepubs.com/InfoComm 2022.